Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Sammy. So the timing on this one couldn't have been better. Yesterday I dropped a video, a full deep dive video on why PoE 2's Endgame was falling short. And here we are. GGG just pushed a brand new update aimed squarely at fixing those issues. This is patch 0.3.1, and it's all about improving the endless world maps and overall end game flow. Today I'm going to break it all down for you, what's changed, why it matters, and how it might reshape the way we approach PoE 2's end game. Let's get into it. Let's start with towers because this is a pretty big shift. Towers as we know them are essentially gone. They're still in the game, but their role, has completely changed. Before, towers were tied to juicing your maps, and honestly, the system felt clunky and inconsistent. A lot of people wanted towers gone, but now towers no longer juice maps. Instead, their focus is on clearing the fog and revealing more of the map. But here's the important part. Once you do complete a tower, when this patch gets dropped, it will now drop a tablet for you. Now, these tablets are the new way we juice maps. Another change. Each tablet comes with a usage value, and once that value runs out, the tablet disappears. The number of tablets you can slot in a map is tied to how many affixes that map has. So for example, if your map has 6 affixes, you'll be able to add three tablets, to the map. And I really think this system is going to feel that we can target farm more things instead of towers randomly dictating how our maps got juiced, and how our runs would be. Players, we can now choose how we want to farm. Next up, how we actually complete maps when this patch drops. Previously, map completion required killing rares and bosses, which, let's be honest, could be frustrating depending on RNG. Now it's simple. Kill the boss, and the map is considered complete. And this is a huge quality of life win. And again, it'll allow players to speed up if they want to speed up, or if they want to complete the whole map. Again, the control is in the hands of the player. But there's more. Every single map has a guaranteed boss. If you see a boss icon on the map, that means it's one of the more powerful bosses, which also means extra challenges and extra rewards. This gives us a choice: push for completion of killing the boss quickly, or stay in the map to clear additional content for even more loot. Another major change is the amount of content inside each map. GGG removed all the old content icons. So on the map, you know how we had all the icons of map bosses, breach, ritual, delirium. Those have all been removed. And that is because after you slot in the tablets on your maps, the game will now randomly add one to three pieces of extra content into the map. This, along with breach, ritual, delirium, and expedition, can also include shrines, strong boxes, essences, wisps, rogue exiles, etc., etc. The key detail here is there's going to be no duplication. So, for example, if you juice your map with an expedition tablet, the random generation system won't add another expedition. It'll pick something else. This ensures every map has a baseline level of content without it feeling redundant. In practice, this means no map will feel empty. Even if RNG isn't in our favor, you're still guaranteed something meaningful. It's a big improvement over the old system, if you ask me. One of the loudest complaints in PoE 2's early endgame was pacing. Maps felt way too long, sometimes bloated with monsters. Now, GGG clearly heard that feedback because they are cutting down the size of 15 maps that were just taking too long to either navigate or complete. And those 15 maps, which are listed here, Auguria, Bastille, Bloomingfield, Channel, Epitaph, Fortress, Grimhaven, Hidden Grotto, Oasis, Penitentiary, Rupture, Savannah, Slake, Val City, and Wetlands. These are now going to be shorter and tighter experiences. And secondly, they are also fixing the monster pack density. Early endgame maps had a 40% more monsters compared to the interludes prior to getting to early maps, which made the pacing really inconsistent. And they found that that was one of the biggest complaints, players getting swarmed as soon as they got into maps and dying a lot. It's one of the biggest complaints that they got. So now monster packs in the lower tier maps have been reduced by 30%. And density will scale up as we climb the map tiers. And once we get to tier 15, it'll go back to the normal mob density that we're used to now. The result, I think, is going to be faster clears, early progression, and we'll still keep late game maps feeling challenging and full. The thing that I'm very curious about here, and I mentioned this on stream, was the fact that this fix right here, as far as lowering the density, there is going to be some noise about they're making the game more for casuals, they're making the game easier. So I'm very curious to see how this kind of fleshes out and kind of how the feedback's going to be once 0.3.1 drops. Now, I'm going to assume that this is going, we don't have the full patch notes, they're coming, but I'm assuming this is going to drop sometime next week, Wednesday or Thursday. That's my guess, but we'll see. Only time will tell. But I'm very curious to see what the feedback's going to be once players get their hands on this, on the lower density. And some other notables, some really good other changes that are coming that have been sprinkled in here. Citadels now have a 66% higher spawn rate. The ground effect modifiers, chilled, shock, ignite, now cover way less of the map. At least 66% of that clutter is gone, especially in lower tier maps, and that's going to help with visual clarity and survivability. And the alchemy orb got a rework. They can now be used on magic items to upgrade them into rares with 4 modifiers. I'd get to the currency exchange and hook up yourself with some alchemy orbs if you're kind of low on them, because I suspect this might be increasing in value as we speak. All right, everybody. So there you have it. That's the TLDR of 0.3.1. Overall, I think this patch, I think it's a good patch. We'll see how the lower end mob density works out. I understand getting swarmed was an issue for players. So again, we'll see how it fleshes out, but we'll see what the feedback's going to be. I don't think anyone's going to argue about the towers. It was awkward, and whether or not, you know, your towers overlapped to your favor and the whole RNG thing, you know, kind of wasn't hitting the mark with players. So I think that's great. I think the map completion changes is awesome. The fact that now the player can choose if they want to rush the boss and get out of there, or if they want to complete. It's really being left up to the player. I think that's a big W. Obviously, the changes to the alchemy orb is awesome. The ground effect modifier changes, awesome. The citadels, beefing that up so players can run into them more often, because some players were struggling, I think are all good. So we'll just see how it fleshes out. Like I said, I think it's going to be sometime next week. But I do want to be clear. This isn't the full endgame overhaul. We know that's coming in December with 0.4. But I think this is a meaningful step in the right direction. And I love the fact that Grinding Gear Games is kind of doing kind of like a pilot test right now. Hey, these are kind of some of the things we wanted to do. Let's put them in the game now, get a feel for what the players' reaction is going to be. And that'll, who knows, help them and assist them with really hunkering down and making sure 0.4 is going to resonate with the players. I love the strategy. Great decision. I support it big time. So anyway, these are big changes, but there's the bigger changes are coming in 0.4. So what do you think? Did this patch fix the most frustrating parts of PoE 2's Endgame? Probably not. Like I said, those are probably going to come, I hope, in 0.4. Or are there still areas that GGG needs to focus on? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading and responding to as many as I can. And if you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more PoE 2 content, and come hang out live on Twitch. Channel name is SamyCaps. Until next time, Exiles, stay safe, stay powerful, and keep grinding. The opinions expressed in this video are mine and solely mine. Healthy debate is always encouraged. Hate is never welcomed. So get over it.